The dorsal part of the wrist is what we're going to focus on now. So we're going to be looking at that back side if we're in anatomical position, right, the posterior side of the wrist. We want to make sure that you're just going to palpate that ulna all the way down. We're going to be palpating specifically that ulnar styloid process. We also want to palpate the UCL. So if you can see, we're right in between. We've got the ulnar styloid process here. We've got our kind of gap where before the carpals start, and that's where going to be our UCL is going to be located there. We also want to palpate our extensor carpi ulnaris, so it coming off of our lateral epicondyle and crossing down and into that towards the ulna, towards the fifth finger. We're also going to palpate the Lister's tubercle, which if we find our radial styloid process, and you kind of work your way across, you can feel the ulnar styloid process there. You can kind of feel where the gap is between the ulna and the radius. If you go in between those, you can feel off of the radius. There's kind of it's a tubercle. It's Lister's tubercle, and you can find it right in the middle of that radius bone where it gets a little bit wider. That's going to help us pinpoint where you can then find the lunate when we get to the carpal bone. So finding that Lister's tubercle there. We talked about the radial styloid process, and then we also have our radial collateral ligament, which again is going to be similar to our UCL, but it's just going to be on the radial side. So we have our radial styloid process, we have our carpals, and we're going to have that space right in between there where we're going to be able to feel that RCL in there.